You're good right now.
Great segue to Maxx Crosby, who's kind enough to join us. Thank you so much, Max. Great to see you. As we're talking defense, and it's the perfect time. First off, this day for you now that you're a veteran, part of this franchise, a face of the franchise, picture day, you come in content day. How have you grown throughout this, and how do you like today?
It's a lot. You got to get a lot of things done, but I'm having fun with it. At the end of the day, like I was just telling them, I'm blessed. We're all blessed just to be here, and we're just excited. It just means football is getting closer. We got minicamp this week, so we're fired up, man.
What is it like for you now? You are the veteran. You mentioned before that you want to help mentor Tyree Wilson. Chandler's going to do the same thing, but it's just a different role for you as the face of the franchise.
Yeah, definitely. That's been a huge focus of mine, is just taking that next step as a leader. Speaking up a little bit more when needed, and just being my full self. Not shying back when I think something is wrong, speaking up, holding everybody accountable, and, holding myself accountable, because they see what I'm doing on a daily basis, and they already know I'm not going to leave a box unchecked. So, I feel like I've earned that right to now take that next step and, hold everybody accountable and lead the way I want to lead. So I'm fired up about it.
You're the guy now, Max. I mean, wherever you go, it's like the cameras are on. But first, give me some dad stuff. What's going on with the baby, and how's that going?
It's been amazing. She's not even 8 months, and she's flying around the house.
Does she sleep at night or what?
She's getting better.
Okay.
She's a little inconsistent at times, but no, she's active as can be. She's throwing things at me now. She's trying to talk. She's saying "Dad" a million times. But we're having so much fun with it. Yeah. Just seeing her grow has been incredible. So,
and how has that change helped the dynamics of the off-season workout, what you're doing, and things like that?
Yeah, it just every time I come home, I know I'm be ready for war. You know what I mean? We're gonna have a lot of fun.
Yeah,
so
I'm gonna go out and run 18 gassers.
Yeah, you already know.
Being home, right?
100%, exactly. I just spend a little bit more time in the hot tub and cold tub. No, but it's honestly it's amazing.
That's awesome.
Just seeing her grow, it's been the coolest thing ever. Time's flying, and everybody has said the same thing to me, like, you don't realize how fast it goes. Yeah. Just take advantage of every moment, and just be present. And that's really all I've been focused on. Obviously, besides being in the building, when I'm out, is just being present with my daughter, and it's been really cool.
So nice. Let's take a look at you with the alumni out at practice, and this means a lot to you. And I've seen that development, knowing you since you've come here, and how important these moments were for you with Phil and Craig Townsend. What's it been like, and how much study time do you put into the history of the Raiders? Because all these guys want to see you first when they show up at practice.
Yeah, it's something that I really took serious when I came into the league. Being a part of the Raiders is not like any other organization, and the history is one of a kind. And I've really taken the time to learn about the past teams and the history of this organization. And there's so many legends and so many guys that really changed the way the game is played. And like Phil and Ted Hendricks, and being able to know not just them but their families, and taking the time to really learn who they are as people and what made them who they were. And it's been incredible. I remember being in Oakland my rookie year. It was actually Napa for camp, and Phil came and talked to the whole team. And I told, in that video, I told him, I'm like, you changed my mindset. He had this speech that was the wildest speech I've ever heard, but it really hit home, because that's what it takes to be at that level, be a dominant defense, and those guys are the ones that I look up to, and it's incredible.
I just want to follow up with Ted Hendricks. I'm so happy you said that.
Yeah.
If you look at his career and what he did off the edge on special teams, blocking kicks, you've had a little bit of that go on, and then just to be a hybrid guy that can go from one side to another. Your conditioning now, what's different? I mean, you're a big UFC guy. What are you changing and evolving with when it comes to your conditioning?
Yeah, honestly, that's always been something, people like to point out is, being a white DN, the first thing you hear is blue collar, he works hard, big motor, that's what they talk about. And you really, you can't avoid that. But
right.
At the end of the day, I truly, my conditioning is something I feel like separates myself from everybody else in the league. And I take it super serious. And, boxing has been a big thing these last 2 years, doing a lot of boxing, training, which is a whole different type of training, whole body, really will take you to a different place, when it comes to conditioning and cardio. So, yeah, for me, I have my base routine of what I do, my extra, you always see me doing the hundreds and gassers and things out to practice, but bringing other guys along with me has been also a big part of that. And, just exploring. I went on a 10-mile run when I went to Miami for the UFC fight. Hunter Campbell, he works with Dana. He called out the room. He's like, all right, tomorrow morning, I'm going on my runs. And everybody's like, nah, we're not going with you. And he's like, we're running 10 miles. And I'm like, all right, screw it, I'll go with you. And I've never done anything like that. And I ran 10 miles in Miami, hot as hell, humid.
My goodness.
And I really this offseason has been just really testing myself and putting myself in deep waters when I don't know if I can float or not. And that's just been a challenge. But that's what it's a direct translation. And I go out on the field and I'm never worried about, all right, do I have to take a little bit off or pace myself? I feel like I can go all day, and I've just gotten in better and better shape as the years gone on.
Speaking of alumni, Matt Millen told me last week that you're a guy that looks like a Raider, right? Just the way that you handle your business. And he said that he always told Howie Long that you weren't that good. He's like, Howie, you're not that good. You got to keep pushing yourself. What do you use to keep pushing yourself? Because you know where you're at, but you always have told me, I want to be better. I want to be better. I'm working on my craft.
Yeah, honestly, I'm so far from where I want to be. Not only, from a personal standpoint, but as an organization, I want to win. That's the number one thing. I literally start in January, and I don't stop until January. And I want to be playing in February. I want to be playing in the biggest games. I want to be on TV. I want everyone to see the work I'm putting in and see what this team is doing. And I take a lot of pride in that. And obviously, the money and all that's cool, but that's not why I started playing football. I started playing in second grade. I've been playing my whole life. This is what I want to do. This is my legacy. I feel like God put me on earth to play football and be an example of overcoming adversity. And I truly believe this is just the beginning for me. I feel like I'm going to take a whole nother step this year. And in these next 5 to 7 years, I'm really going to be entering my prime and being the best version of myself. And that's why I take it so serious. That's why I talk about my craft and my work ethic. And I really talk about it because I take it so serious and I do it on a daily basis. And that's all I know. And I really want to maximize my career at the highest level. And that's why I put so much into it. And, I feel like, my legacy at the end of the day is the most important thing. What I leave, when I'm done is everything.
Yeah, a lot of the young players have similar stories about overcoming adversity on this football team, being able to rise and having been always easy for them. And I think that's one of the themes that are going on with these younger players. What are some of the things that technically you need to work on to reach that level?
Yeah, I feel like there's not one specific thing that I focus on. It's not okay, I'm not good at this. This is my main focus. I feel like I could do a lot of things at a very high level, but I always focus on the 1%. I feel like my routine is great, but there's always room for improvement no matter what it is. So whether it's football, whether it's my routine, whether it's my nutrition, whether it's pass rush specific, whether it's the run game and how I'm using my hands, there's always things I could get better at. And that's why I'm constantly just watching myself. And I talk to the young guys about this. A lot of people talk about film and how do you watch film and what do you do? I got this from Rob Marinelli, but he's the most important film you need to watch is yourself. Constantly watch yourself, start with your feet and then watch your hands. Are you active enough? Are you getting off the ball? Is your pad level, what it should be? So I literally just all the time, I'm just watching games from last year just over and over and over again.
Right.
And I truly enjoy that. And I know what it's supposed to look like when I'm at my best and I know when I'm not at my best. So I constantly can work on that during the week and in practice. And okay, last game I feel like my pad level was a little bit too high. I feel like I was slightly hesitant in my pass rush. My get off was a little bit behind. That's what I'm gonna focus on in the week. So once I'm going to the next game, the last game is I'm over with, and I'm just focused on how I can do better. And I'm constantly, that's just how my mindset is every single day. Is all right, if today wasn't 100% perfect, how can I get better tomorrow? And if you just stack that up every single day all year, you're gonna give yourself the best chance to succeed.
To follow up on that, is there any specific player who's playing now or who played in the past that you kind of patterned your game after and then you went to your own thing?
Honestly, I really when I started playing football, like I was a fullback and a linebacker, and like, you know what I mean? I played receiver at one point. I played tight end. Like I played a lot of positions, and I didn't start playing DN until my senior year of high school. I hit a big growth spurt, and they're like, "You're not playing linebacker. You're too big and stiff." Yeah. I'm like, okay, I need to, whatever. But honestly, I'm a fan of the sport. Like. Yeah. The history all the way back to, and this is another one. I give credit to Marinelli all the time, but he really evolved my like mindset when it comes to like the history of football and just like D-line play. Yeah. Like I have guys from like Doug Atkins to Warren Sapp to like the old school Vikings with
Marshall,
with like
Alan Page,
like all like real old school stuff. But like those guys were like unicorns. Like Doug Atkins is like 6'8", hurdling people back in the 70s and 80s, and he ended his career. His last play was a sack and got carried off the field. Like that's legendary, and like that was way back in the 80s. So like I really don't like to just put it with D-line. Like I grew up, I was a huge Megatron fan. I was a Lion fan growing up as a kid, like being in Michigan.
I'm sorry, but go ahead.
Yeah, trust me, I know. It was terrible. I'm glad I'm a Raider. But yeah, like I'm really a fan of the game, and I appreciate every position, and I just love the game of football. So yeah, there's not one guy that I'm like, yeah, I want to play like him. Like my vision in my head, like even when I was in college and high school, like I always like envisioned what my favorite player would look like. And I try to just be that. I want the kids to look at me and be like, yeah, I want to play like Maxx Crosby. And like that's like the number one compliment. So like I really try to I don't try to be anybody. I just be myself on the field. And the fans see it, my personality. Like I'm just 100% me when I'm on the field. And that's what I try to just do every single day.
Max, for our listeners and our viewers, how should Raider fans believe now? We hear about Patrick Graham. He wanted faster, more explosive. Dave says smarter players. So players come and go. Denzel Perryman's gone. We talked about Hayward being gone. This is a business. You're a foundation player here. When new players come in, like Spillane and Epps, and you believe this defense is going to evolve and get better, how could we see that? How's that going to happen?
Yeah, I love the guys that we brought in. I love what we're doing. On the outside world, everybody's going to have an opinion, especially when you're not winning. They deserve to, have their criticisms. I get it. We're 6-11. Last year. It's not good enough. It's unacceptable. And I take it extremely personal. So, yeah, the fans have a right to be upset. But I know this. I know guys are putting in work right now. We have a close team. Guys are off the field doing things together, and we're doing the right things to put ourselves in a position to be successful. And the outside opinions, we appreciate them because at the end of the day, when it's bad, you're going to know it's bad. And when it's good, you're going to know it's good as well. So, I've been on the Raiders for 4 years now. We've been in the playoff one time in my 4 years, and that's just not good enough. So I totally understand where the fans are coming from, but I really do love this group. I feel like the coaches, coaches and players have really looked in the mirror and realized, okay, this is what we need to do. What we did last year was not good enough, and it's simple as that from top to bottom. So if we get a bunch of guys on the same page that are bought in on winning, not just individual stats, not just all right, I'm going to have my success, I'm going to be good. If we do it for each other, everybody's going to have success. Everyone's going to, do above and beyond of what, the outside world expects. So it's really about just buying in and believing in the guy next to you, and that's going to give you a great chance to win. And like I said, people have their opinions on what we should do as an organization. We need to draft this guy. We're getting rid of these guys. What are we doing? They get paid for a reason, upstairs, and they have a vision of what they want. And I would be crazy if I didn't believe in that. They believe in me. I believe in this team. And I feel like all that matters is the guys in this building putting in the work every single day. And we have to go out there and produce for the fans and just prove everybody that we're a good team and got a lot going for the future.
What have you noticed differently from last year, OTAs? I mean, I've been out there a couple times, and it looks like you guys are moving around station to station faster. I'm noticing you go and kick the ball, make sure you put your foot on the ball and touch it first. It just seems like there's just a lot more intensity, even though it's early on.
Yeah, I feel like at the end of the day, football is meant to be it is a game, and it's meant to – you're supposed to have fun when you're out there.
Right.
And I feel like that's what a lot of people forget, and especially being at this position. There's a lot of money on the line. There's a lot of pressure, a lot of things going on, but it's football. Football is a simple game played by a bunch of grown-ass men. And it's just, you have to truly enjoy it. And if you're not having fun out there, if you're not enjoying it, you're not going to win.
Right.
If you're always tense, you're worried about, all right, are we not going to do – if you're thinking about it too much and you're overthinking, you're a step behind already. And I try to encourage my guys, like, run into the ball, like even in warm-ups, like I'm trying to beat everybody and I'm just on purpose just to piss them off. But like I try to keep a friendly competition. I try to keep as many handshakes as possible and like really just try to bring fun into the game, because at the end of the day, we're working relentlessly. Everyone's putting in work. Everyone takes it serious. But at the end of the day, you got to have fun. You watch the Warriors, they've won 4 titles. They're out there having fun, smiling, flying around, and they trust each other. And that's what it's really about, like being on the same page, having fun, and just working together and never leaving a guy behind. And that's been my mentality, not leaving any box unchecked, bringing the guys with me. If we're going to do extra runs, it's a cult. Y'all are doing it with me. And if you don't do it one day, you're done. You're not doing it. The grip workout's the same thing. We have an army of people in there doing the extra grip workout with me. And like that's what it's really about, is just having fun with it, but also realizing you can't let your teammates down. You got to be there every single day.
Max, one more quick one. What do you want to do in the community? I know how much this community means to you. You mentioned Michigan back home. In about a minute or two, how do you want to wrap this up with how you want to evolve and grow in the community?
So I got a big announcement coming.
Okay.
I'll let all the details and all that come out, but I'm starting my first foundation.
Awesome.
I'm having my foundation, and I'm super fired up about it. We're going to do a lot of things, going to cover a lot of ground, but focus on mental health, teen addiction, animal rescue, covering a lot of things. But I'm starting that up. I'm really fired up about it.
Awesome.
Be able to help people not only in Las Vegas but all over, from Michigan to Texas, and just be able to give back in the way I want to. So we're going to be doing a lot of great things. They'll be announced here in the next week or so, and I'm super fired up about it. But yeah, it's all about giving back at the end of the day. Last week, I was able to talk to 30 kids who just graduated, dealing with teen addiction. Kids, going through what I went through, and seeing them, kids having 4 months sobriety, a year sobriety, and being able to stand in a room with them and talk, and share my story is really what it's all about, and just giving back. So yeah, it's an honor every time I get to do it. That's why, after my first year of sobriety, I came out and told my story about, how I got clean, is because I can come back and help somebody out, and I'm able to do that every single day, and it's honestly the greatest thing I feel like I've accomplished in my life.
Thanks for the extended time. We know you're busy. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys.
Maxx Crosby joining us as we continue right here on Raiders Roundtable.